Hi.
Hello, everybody. There's no way we're even. I'm going to go ahead and just make a correction there.
Yeah, this side's up a little high. Not on here. That's my guess. Nothing's come up here yet.
Nothing has come
And
up.
I'm far too sober for this.
There we go.
Don't leave those grilling must-haves till the last.
All right, so we have an ad. Go ahead and skip the ad.
Barbecue guys with in-stock grills that ship out from our
We got
warehouse in
Robert
just
Cohen,
1 to 3 days. At
EGH.
most, that's your
What's
weekend.
up, y'all?
Family movie night on Friday, hanging out by the
Yo,
pool
yo,
on
yo.
Saturday, taking it easy around.
Yeah. How crooked are we?
It's the same old crooked. It's just if you just expand a little, it'll be fine. But it needs this.
Which side's higher? This side or this side?
As I'm looking at it, this side's lower. I sound like a moron.
There you go.
Yes.
Where you
You
going first?
overcorrected a tad bit. Dude, we have really.
There you go. Almost.
It's so close. We are one loud fart away
Nope,
from being
wrong
right
way.
perfect.
No?
This is low over
Went the
here.
wrong way.
I'm sure everyone loves watching this.
Yeah.
This is about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We did
Yeah.
it!
Yeah.
We did it! Let's do this.
Hey, we couldn't do this without everybody who's on right when we start.
Only a few more
And
weeks.
Rhett, who's not even in the room.
Only a few more weeks of this. Robert Cohen, it's great to see you tonight. AGH, we welcome everybody to the show. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Maringold. This is Thank God It's Tuesday. Welcome to another greatest day of the week. The Mary Jo White Fan Club is called to order. He's Kevin Ricca.
I'm a big Mary Jo fan, bigger fan of the board. Nice to see you guys on a Tuesday, man.
He is Tim Strachan.
You know, I'm so excited about talking about the new, kind of just the new fresh faces and everything of this team that I had to just get a new fresh face myself. I had to clean myself up a little bit. I went Ken style, I went beard diet.
He washed his ass.
Beard
He washed
diet.
He did some ass
I
washing.
did. Actually,
Nice.
I did do that today.
If you
It's
approve
a lot in one day,
It's been a
man.
big day.
of Tim's new look, please give us a thumbs up. Thumbs up with the like if you are in approval.
A lot of cleaning.
Please subscribe to First Amendment Sports. It's easy and free, and hit the bell for notifications. That way you get a notification when we go live on Tuesday nights. Thank you in advance for joining us on a weekly basis as we cover the greatest, most dramatic TV show in professional sports. That is the Washington Redskins football team Commanders saga.
Funny you say that because it just was anything but dramatic.
So before we do draft, I wanted to tell you guys something about the name, because the name thing, saying that made me think of something that happened over the weekend. So I was talking to somebody about the draft. Probably you guys have been doing the same. And they were asking me what I thought. And I said the Commanders. Like I was talking about da-da-da-da-da, and then,
You
the
took command.
Commanders. But then I corrected myself subconsciously to Redskins. I was like,
can't say
oh,
it.
the Commanders had a good draft. Then I was like, I mean Redskins. I'm so
I
confused.
can't say it.
I'm
I
at the
can't.
point in
I'm
time
having
now
such a hard time.
with 3 names in 20 months. I'm at that point where I'm now just thoroughly confused. It's not because I railed against anything or for anything or for any other reason than my whole life was spent loving one thing, named something, then they changed the name, then they changed it again. And we still haven't played a game or seen these guys on the field as the Commanders. And I corrected myself to Redskins, even though I said the right thing. And again, nothing political or anything. I just automatically said, oh, I mean Redskins. Oh, wait. So I think it's getting there. I think we're like in a weird space.
I can't say it. I really can't.
I mean, you can.
I mean, it can come out of my mouth, but it doesn't. I can't. It's
Sesame
the
Command.
feeling.
Command.
Command.
I can't.
I like the Bama Commanders
I don't
from Robert
feel
Cohen.
right
Command
saying
Thursday.
it. I prefer
That Carolina
Skins.
the twang on the end.
I prefer saying Skins or the Washington football team.
Yeah,
Okay.
I say skins quite often. That's my.
Sure. I think
That's
everyone
what I
says
say.
Skins.
I'm not. I can't stop saying it.
No,
So.
no, it seems natural. All right, there was an actual, and the Caps are down 2-1 in the second period, playoffs against the Florida Panthers. Don't worry, AGH.
Sorry if he spoiled that for anybody who was just filming it,
They're
recording it so that you
dual-tasking.
could watch us, so you could watch the game later. But
Okay,
Saved you some
so before we get into the nitty-gritty dirt band of it all, I would say just give like a 3 to 5, maybe 6 or 7 sentence synopsis. For example,
Go.
the Commanders filled holes that had to be filled in a not exceptionally spectacular way. You could take issue with who was on the board when they drafted this guy and where they drafted this guy, but we got a field stretcher, wide receiver, physical defensive lineman, legit short yardage running back, and a speedy safety with a lot of upside and range and instincts. And then some other players, we will talk about, who have a chance to crack this roster. It's hard to say we're not better. You go ahead.
I agree. I'm not one of the screaming folks that says that we need to burn it all down and we stink at this and draft blah, blah, blah. I get it. There's a lot of people that love them. There's a lot of people that know what they're talking about. To the ones that love them, that's their opinion. God bless you. I like what we did. If this was a test and the teacher just handed it back, I think it would say like 86. Which
B plus,
right? Which means I don't think we knocked it out of the park. I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh my God." I like what we did and getting those players for that trade. I really liked it, and then I liked what we did. But yeah, I was happy, and we got better. Yeah, man. And we'll see what happens. By the way, it's the most inexact science to ever be an expert on.
Sure.
But 86 on the test. I don't know about you guys going back academically, but that'd have been for me.
You would have been like, I'll take 86.
Yeah, definitely
Look,
86.
first
If
of
you
all-
study, you get 100. If you don't study, you get an 86. That's ballsy.
All right.
First of all, I think all the hype about the draft now, as great as it is as theater and entertainment and all that stuff, I think it has created a situation where not every pick can be a future All-Pro, Hall of Famer, whatever, right? And I think that's what everybody wants every pick to be, right? So it really was an underwhelming draft. I don't hate it at all. The
entire draft experience, not
I think
just
you're right.
not
I
just
think
us.
you're right. They filled holes. They filled spots of need. They did what we think they needed to do. The names didn't necessarily match up with that, and time is going to tell. I don't think don't burn anything down, but it was just not splashy, which you can take either way. It could be, it was a ho-hum, or you could say, thank God it wasn't splashy, like we have been in the past. Why be all splashy and take some guy because of his name or whatever? Maybe they did it the right way. Maybe they did it a professional way. They didn't do it in a way that a fan loves watching the draft. That's for sure.
All right, so I want to change up throughout the show the manner in which we talk about these players. And so the first time we're going to go through it, the first guy I'm going to give you get a one word reaction, one word response about this player that we drafted. One word. T, you get to go first. One word, Sam Howell. That's your one word.
No.
That's two.
Yeah, it's too.
Come on, one word.
Ballsy.
Kevin?
Tough. Got that one out there. That amazing adjective.
I'm just going to say potential. Third string, I think is third string a word?
Look at you and Robert Cohen saying potential at the same time.
Robert Cohen, me and you.
BFFs.
Yes.
That's just as it popped on the screen, it was coming out of your mouth. It was as if you guys had a secret code.
All right, Kevin, you get to go first this time. One word, Brian Robinson.
Physical.
T?
Beast.
Yeah, I mean, just tough. Legit short yardage guy. All right, I said Sam Howell. Greg Martin says starter. I know. So the thing that I put on our tweet tonight and on our description of the show is: will it be a subpar Carson Wentz or a overachieving Sam Howell that causes the quarterback controversy this year? Because it has to happen. I would love it to be the latter and not
You
the
already
former.
putting Sam ahead of Heineke?
Well, no, just because this quarterback controversies are stupid at the heart of them, and Carson Wentz is clearly a
Washington,
veteran
DC.
starter of this team, and yet people won't be able to help themselves if Sam Howell looks great. And by the way, keep in mind he's going to get all the garbage time in the preseason. He's going to be the hero, the Mason Brennan candidate, where everyone's going to be like, man, he looks really good out there. I wonder what would happen if he's our starter.
Yeah, but you can't give the Mason Brennan guy, the guy who, if he came out in 2021, he might have been the first guy selected.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he's eligible for Mason Brennan. I mean, he was someone we were talking about possibly last year if he came out.
I know.
And our guy last year.
He's always had the potential. I think this past year in college, he showed, well, he showed what he can do without a lot of talent around him, which is why I thought he was ballsy. I thought
Because they ran him a lot. He was tough as shit running the ball. He's got the arm. We've seen it.
Yeah, and that's what he had to kind of be something he's really not in his senior year at UNC. So I think everybody's expectation of him going into the year, he didn't have a chance to showcase that because he didn't have the talent around him.
He lost Javonte
it all
Williams
left the year before.
Michael Carter, right? Michael Carter and De'Ami Brown.
Yeah.
Look, just
There was
to
a
name
fourth guy,
three.
too. Yeah.
So
It's really a steal of the for the Redskins. That's the steal of the draft for them.
Sam Howell being the steal of the draft. I just want to be really clear with everybody out there. I do love the Sam Howell pick. And it's being written up, and every time I just laugh to myself, and I also laugh out loud to people who are around me when I just think about the ludicrous conversations we're going to be involved in between now and like October about Sam Howell should be starting. He really shouldn't be starting. Just give him a chance. He is. I want him to do well. I really want him to do well, but let's all just not just do what is like absolutely coming.
How about this? This was more intelligent for the future of our franchise
Yes.
than for the time being. So.
Yeah.
In a shallow QB class, in a lot of years, the fifth, a quarterback, chosen where he was chosen is a total project. But because the quarterbacks weren't the class of this draft, they got, sprinkled and splattered in day 2 and day 3. So
He was guilty by association,
he was
wasn't
guilty by association. He got sprinkled and splattered all
Yeah.
over the place. All right, so we're going to get back to Sam Howell, and we're going to talk about him plenty, I'm sure. And because we want to and because we're going to, because that's kind of who we are and what we do. Let's work our way up, and let's stop at the second round at P. Matheson.
Phil?
Yeah, Phil. Fair. This is the pick that so many people have a problem with, and I just don't have a problem with it. I don't. He is a. We have done such a good job drafting defensive linemen for starters. Like we've brought in good guys, and they've played well, and they've been put in a good position. So I'm giving us the benefit of the doubt on that alone. He played with Payne. He played for Alabama. I understand he's not supposed to be the next great defensive lineman thing, but he looks like a pretty big, strong guy who can play a pretty physical brand of football. And if he plays, he's gonna be playing on the strength of our team. Like we're not bringing in some guy to be the one good player on a defensive line. We're bringing in some guy to play with Montez Sweat, Chase Young, Deron Payne, and Jonathan Allen.
He is going to eat 2 of the interior linemen for the other team the entirety of the time he's in the game. He is strong enough to push that pocket back. That's what he does at the one technique. This guy will line up on the shaded side of the center and absorb that gap and the gap to the other side, or either one. With 2 players on him, that frees up a guy like Deron Payne to not have to play the one technique. That's what everyone's failing to realize as they're saying, oh, this could be the stopgap replacement. Maybe. But this year, in a contract year, and we don't really know the deal, although it's kind of written on the wall, we think, Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen are going to get freed up over there. Now, what are you going to do? Not double team one of those bad boys? Those real top first round guys, those talents that chew up offenses? And then you got double jeopardy outside when Chase comes back healthy with Montez. On paper, this is what we're looking for, and that push. And not having to make Deron Payne play the one technique, which is not what he's great at.
Nope.
He did it because he did it for the team, and he's the guy that has to do it because you want to let John Allen be free. He doesn't have to do that as much this year. And,
He just
and I
likes
think
to
that's going to be a
swim through
big
that
deal.
line. He wants to swim on
Look,
through.
man, if the guy doesn't say, man, I didn't think my agent didn't think we were going to the 3rd or 4th. That caused a big old ruckus. And then, for Darian, he wasn't someone that we have said his name, mentioned, or heard it. So I think it took a lot of people that way, and we'll get to the talking about the first round guy, but I'll just get back to saying that the value is relative when it comes to our team.
And the question on the board is, are we trading Payne? I'll take the first crack, no. I think at this point in time, you had a lot of opportunities to. There was the quarterback move. There was a possibility to it. Apparently, there was a possibility to address the wide receiver position because it seemed like anyone with a wide receiver worth paying $20 million a year, it had that guy on the market. So Payne could have already been traded. But the fact that he hasn't been and wasn't, to me, tells me he won't be. I don't think anyone wants to get rid of Daron Payne this season. I think people are looking at the defense as having to be good for us to have a chance.
But just looking ahead, why is everybody already convinced he's gone?
Because we're going to have to pay Young at some point. We're going to have to pay Sweat at some point if we want to keep Sweat. I think decisions are going to have to start to get made. Also, there's the other...
Montez is a big one that we just re-upped for his 5th, but that's a big one.
So I guess the argument, I'm just playing devil's advocate, I guess the argument is if you're going to just let this great talent go, why wouldn't you get anything for him?
We will.
Other than compensatory.
Compensatory.
I also think 17 games is what we'll get out of it.
In a contract year.
Sam Tarley...
That's a bad dude.
Sam Tarley killing a White Walker in a contract year. Think about that. Think about that. Sam Tarley killed a White Walker in a contract year. Keeping Payne for 17 games could be the reward. Could be what we get out of Daron Payne.
And we ain't trading them because if we got rid of, Settle and Ioannidis already, we know what these guys cost. We had to jump up in the second round and take Fedarian for a reason, obviously. Yep. We know what these guys cost that are any good. These tackles that sit around waiting to get paid. We're going to get a third, fourth tier guy to come in and do something that we could get a young buck to do with a ton of strength who's played in the SEC for 4 on a rookie contract.
Yeah,
this is part of it. This is no doubt about it. This is the business side. That's why Ioannidis is gone. That's why we didn't re-sign Settle. Settle got 4.5 a year. We weren't giving him that.
Nope.
In fact, we got rid of Ioannidis, which kind of chapped my ass a little bit. And we did create this, but we also created some flexibility financially to go get Carson Wentz, and that's what we needed to do.
And Rivera mentioned it in his presser recently, and it's something we've already touched on throughout the entirety of our 6 years in this basement, which is we went from having relatively minor resources attached to the quarterback position last year, and Fitzpatrick and Heineke to like a somewhat legitimate veteran salary, like 28 million. Now you're talking about a chunk of your salary cap. That's a veteran quarterback cost, and if you can pay, if you can get the guy that you want, which Wentz appears to be the guy Rivera wanted for this season, you're going to pay that, and that's going to mean something. I mean, you either have a veteran quarterback or you have a rookie quarterback contract. At some point, maybe after next season, maybe we do have a rookie quarterback contract, and they let Carson Wentz go, and $25+ million becomes available to go after our own guys like Sweat or Payne for that matter, because you're going to choose probably to put $25 to $30 million at the quarterback spot if you're put in a position to do it before you sign your second or third or fourth defensive lineman, probably.
Greg Martin, I wouldn't play with Baker Mayfield as my starting quarterback if you paid me every Sunday to go to the game $500.
And that's been that way ever since.
That's not even.
It's been that way ever since
part of it. I'm done.
That's not. But my heart breaks for Baker.
But it's always been that way for you.
My heart breaks for Baker.
It couldn't have happened to a better guy.
I was going to say it's always you felt that way ever since he got tackled by the
The security guard broke down, rope-a-dope this cat, no problem. He can't avoid a security guard under rush. Then he cannot play for my team.
He wasn't quite in tip-top condition at the moment, but
very true,
still,
very
you
true.
should
But
be able to get away.
Hey, you
my
don't think that
heart
security
breaks.
guard was sitting around chilling
for
on hour 12 of a 14-hour?
I never. Hey, look, security guard never caught me. So,
Greg, Taylor Heineke and Sam Howell. There was a time within the last 4.5 months where if you told me our quarterbacks next year were Taylor Heineke and Sam Howell, I would have been like, go on. Because I knew that there's how much money that we would have had to spend on all the other spots on the field. But we spent $28 million at quarterback, and there's a little bit of a warm and fuzzy when you have a 29-year-old quarterback who's been in the league, played at a high level. You pay him what he's worth. No one's skirt is getting blown up by Carson Wentz, but he is going to be fine.
We didn't celebrate here.
He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine.
But listen, man, with what we're trying to do offensively, I do understand the arm strength and spreading the field. That's if the coaches can get that to work, that's the next step. So
well, then let's get to it, Kev. Let's get to it, because what makes Carson Wentz better ultimately is what you put around Carson Wentz. We put an offensive line in front of him that I mean, it's a workman-like, above average group of guys. They added Trey Turner, the Pro Bowl guard, who's, listen, we've actually done well bringing in journeyman veteran guards. We'll see if this one pans out. We have Cosme on the right side, Leno on the left side. We still got some depth with some guys that we've drafted in the last couple years. But the big one was wide receiver, and we were talking about wide receiver, for a while, not just because Curtis Samuel didn't play last year, but because at the end of the day, this is a passing, offense-happy league. The quarterback has to have guys to throw to, and you could make the argument that we were short a guy, even with Curtis Samuel. So in the first round, the fact that they were able to trade down and still get a first-round rated wide receiver, clearly the one they wanted, because there were other guys available that people thought different things about. I'll give you the first question. Was he the wide receiver that was on the board that you wanted at that time?
No.
Who would you have taken?
Well, I mean, look.
Well, no, just say who you would take.
The only other guy I think would have been worthy of taking at that spot was Burks. So
Trey Lyon was the answer for sure.
Right. So he was the only other guy worth taking. Look, Jahan Dotson to me reminds me of Stephon Diggs when Stephon Diggs was coming out of Maryland, not knowing what I know now. Okay, not knowing what I know now. Back then, a lot of people had criticisms on Stephon Diggs. Was he going to be able to be that playmaker at the next level? He didn't have the breakaway speed. All those big, high-stepping plays that he had, that's not going to fly in the NFL. What they underestimated in Stephon Diggs is that he was a ridiculous route runner. Besides all the fancy stuff and all the things that he did, he was a ridiculous route runner and had great hands. Dotson has great hands. He can make some big-time plays, but he's got speed. He has speed that I don't think Stephon had coming out of Maryland.
No, he's a 4-4 guy.
Was he at the top of the list of wide receivers you'd want to get in the first round? Not mine.
Well, top half.
Right, but I can see where he fits in this offense, and it's really, I think he's a make or break. He's going to be a bang or bust kind of guy. He's either going to be able to make that leap to the next level or he's not. And we'll find that out, in my opinion, early. He's not a developmental guy, not a guy that just needs some experience. He needs to make big plays.
About this.
He needs to make big plays from day one.
So, Kevin, my question to you about Dotson is, I think he's a wide receiver too. I think he's capable of lining up on the outside, but I think you have the flexibility to put Curtis and him in either spot. I think he's a starter on day one. When you on first down on offense for the Washington Commanders, where do you have him lining up?
Absolutely out wide.
Out wide. I agree.
But he can in many packages and will be, I know everyone, we say versatile about this team all week, but that's part of it. That's why he got drafted where he did. The guy can play both. He has a feel, I think, for a smaller receiver of where to duck into a zone. With the hands he has, Olave is the deep threat. And I think this is the comp that everyone was, we were high on Olave apparently, and then the whole conversation about, hey, what the Saints gave up for Olave and what we got in return for Olave, essentially,
you have to look
in Dotson.
Yes.
But if you just look at those two, I just looked at both of them. I watched both of their games the last 2 years. I watched Ohio State, Penn State. So did you guys. I know it. I just remember watching those two duking it out. Mm-hmm. They're both great football players. And I think when I say the term value is relative, for us, obviously the value in the other picks is something. But if you just look at these two wide receivers, on those 2 days, it kind of shone the light on it for me. Dotson had 19 catches for 71 yards and 4 touchdowns in those 2 games. He was a stud star. Olave had 10 for 164 and 3. He was a stud. Now, Olave's were downfield. Out of all those receptions, Dotson had 12 for first down. Olave, 2. So when I say value is relative to us, a time possession ball club, we're going to try and put 15, 16 plays together. We want to win 21-17 and have our defense dominate. This is what we want. And eventually, as the offense grows and puts some points on the board, we're not just going to come out the gates flinging it all over the field. This helps us a ton with that guy's hands, his route running ability, and his big play capabilities. And I love Olave. There's nothing wrong with Olave. I'm not saying our guy's better, worse, but I think this guy's a better fit for us right now.
I'm not upset we don't have Olave.
And that's under the guise of we re-signed Terry McLaurin and watching these two guys play ball together. I think that's a beautiful thing. And right now, our starting 4 wide receivers, That's elite speed. That's Olympic elite speed. That's 4x200 speed. That's some dudes there. 4x100 if you want. I think the slowest dude's a 4.43. And I know we got multiple dudes sub 4.4.
And our backs.
We've never had that. Antonio Gibson also is sub 4.4. So we right now have a ridiculous track outfit between our 4 guys. We got to make it work. I'm just saying right now I can see the formula. The recipe is starting to come together a little bit. We'll see on the field if it turns into a meal or not.
What I find interesting is after we picked up Carson Wentz, after we signed, after we re-signed Charles Leno, after we did very little splashy, free agency stuff, no one was really looking at us as in the power rankings of, and I love power rankings. I look at them every week, and I look at them every week in all the sports. I love power rankings. I want to see where the Nats are. I want to see where the Cavs are. I want to see where the Bullets are. I want to see where the Redskins are. Interestingly, Pete Prisco, who is a guy that I like, on my list of guys who talk about football, Pete Prisco for CBS Sports. He's been around a long time. He's not too showy. He's not trying to cram something down your throat.
I heart Pee-Pee on the Trapper Keeper. Now makes a lot more sense.
I heart
nice job.
Pee-Pee.
Nice job. Sorry, I had to interrupt.
He took the
Velcro one.
Commanders up 12 spots to number 13 after the draft, and it wasn't because he thought we had a great draft. This is why I think it was. I think it was because he was like, all right, like their offensive line is starting to come together. They have a couple backs that have proven that they can collect stats. Terry McLaurin is a stud. Logan is going to be healthy, and Dotson's going to be He's a starting wide receiver in this league. Plus, either Curtis Samuel or De'Ami Brown needs to be Curtis Samuel. And I think they were like, well, the difference is Carson Wentz, because Carson Wentz has a different computer in his brain than Taylor Heineke. And there's no knock against Taylor Heineke, a veteran quarterback in the league who's played at the level Carson Wentz has a different computer in his brain. And if you put those kinds of weapons around him, your offense is better. And for a team that's supposed to be led by their defense, if you can put some points together on offense, and I think that's what they did. And I think the sneakiness of it, to your point, Kevin, is Brian Robinson. What we didn't do last year that we did 2 years ago was convert on short yardage plays. And I think Brian Robinson is the answer to that question. And that's worth minutes of time of possession. Like minutes upon minutes upon minutes. Second and twos, third and ones, fourth and inches. Brian Robinson is a man-child. Is he going to win 100% of them? No, he's not. He's not Tom Brady. But he can power his way for the short yardage.
How about this also in a little short yardage play action on tape after 17 weeks? This is a guy with great hands, man. He had over 300 yards receiving, 35 receptions his senior year, 6'1", 225. He's a bulldozer. Yes, I agree with everything you just said. He's a hammer. He's going to be our short yardage guy, no doubt. And the dude's got hands, so you can put him in a formation, and you can do whatever you want with him. Once again, we have the ability to be creative offensively with a guy that's done this at a high level at the college level.
Run waggle.
Exactly. And I'm just saying, I'm a waggle guy. You know I love waggle.
Waggle's the best.
Waggle's awesome. And that's hey, that play doesn't go away.
No.
Waggle, the Waggle series is built for Brian Robinson here.
So the top three and Sam Howell we've talked about. I think, and we want to be realistic here, right? Like, we're going to say we love all these guys. And there's a reason, as I said in the description of the show, there's a reason to love every single guy we got. There's a reason to love all 13 of our undrafted free agents. There's a reason to believe that all those guys can do it. The reality is that they won't. Only some will, and maybe even a few. However, there's another guy whose name we've haven't said, but I referenced him at the top of the show, Percy Butler. 4th round pick. I get that he is a special teamer out of the gate, but a good special teamer out of the gate. But I think you have to remember that we got Cam Curl in the 7th round. And we're talking about guys who know defense, who are leading this team, and guys who understand what they want. And I'm not going to be the guy who sits here and tells you that Percy Butler is going to do what Cam Curl did and transition to the league right away and be great. But what he's good at doing, He has speed. First and foremost, he's fast as hell. He's 4.3, 40. But he's rangy. He moves, and he moves with instinct. Those are things that a coach can do something with, and I think that we're going to do something with those skills. And I think that in the 4th round, we got a guy who's going to make our defense better.
I sent the text to you guys
you
on
did.
our little thread. I was like, I just so they have to control his downhill shot from a cannon aggression. I get it because he takes bad angles, and that's part of getting to the next level because he's so freaking fast. Premier special teams gunner, they say. Awesome. The last time we talked about a premier special teams gunner that we drafted was in the 3rd round 4 years ago by the name of Terry McLaurin. He seems to have been a little bit better than just fearsome, fearless gunner, which that's a lot.
With maturity and leadership.
You remember all that? That was his big tagline.
Oh, yeah.
So this guy is that, and he will be that right away, but I think he can be our starting safety in a year or two and get some reps. I love his physicality. He's a monster. Physicality is his brand. That's how he describes how he plays. He's a maniac, dude. I love how he hits.
Can I ask you this, Kevin?
And to learn,
Does
and to
he-
learn under 2 guys like Cam Curl
Yes.
and Bobby McCain.
Shit, yeah.
Well, you guys can both take a crack at this, but based on what you think Percy Butler could be, is he the kind of guy who fits in next to Cam Curl in the backfield? Are those complementary players at the back?
Yeah, because Cam can do whatever, and this guy's not going to be you're not going to be able to rotate him to the deep third. He's a heat-sinking missile. He's a strong safety. But his size and speed say he could. I just don't know about his hips.
Yep.
We haven't really seen him play. I've seen him 4 times in his highlights lower the head and spear the ever-living S out of somebody.
I know.
We're going to have to figure that part out. The rules are I don't know where Louisiana was playing. But there was some, but his fearlessness, that jumps out.
Archbishop Sycamore?
And when it's time for him to get going,
Favorite Sycamore?
he gets there quicker than a hiccup. He is not hesitating, and you've seen him. He's a heat-sinking missile out there. That's going to be a cool dude, man.
All right, so follow on to that. The big thing going into the draft, because it's a scheme-specific era, which we haven't talked. We talk about a lot that year over year. We haven't bored you to death with our scheme-specific dissertation this year. However, the Washington defense, scheming-wise, requires the use of a quote-unquote Buffalo nickel, essentially either a third safety or an extra linebacker, dime linebacker, whatever you want to call it, star. Landon Collins was playing it at the end of the season. He's no longer here. Put a pin in that one. We're going to come back to Landon Collins. But is Percy Butler going to get – are you worried that Percy Butler is going to get ramrodded into that role? Is he perfect for that role?
Not ramrodded. Sorry. Every time someone says that word, I freak out and scream.
I
But
thought
just
Kaliki
scream.
Hudson got some solid reps at that position at the end of last season as well, before he got hurt.
I just honestly, he's the one guy that we don't hear anything about,
Hudson?
good or bad.
I know.
It's almost kind of nerve-wracking.
I'm because he was hurt because he wasn't a high profile guy.
We liked him.
and we liked him. But when he was healthy and he was playing that spot, he did it well. Well, and we know that he's a good football player.
Yeah.
We've been that way since college.
We've also been writing down our off-season stuff, and there's like 3 linebackers. So he's been a pretty big name, in the off-season. It was Kunacek, Mayo, and him were the backups. Although we only had 1 starter listed as well, too, Jamin Davis. All right, there we go. There's
Basically
4.
out the linebacker position from the NFL. Are we deciding? Are we the one team that's like, you know what? Shot in the dark. I mean, let's just spitball this one. What if we don't have any linebackers? Like, is that where we're going here?
Player coach. We're
just
going
like-
to take every Ron. We're going to get
Ron's going to see
Jack
that.
Del Rio,
J,
suit him up.
JDR. Just
I mean, are we trying to reinvent
get
things
those
here?
boys a bar or two, a leather helmet. And let's
It's the
see what they
biggest
got.
argument against our draft that and it's an argument we all have decided not to get into because we like the way that these guys have fallen, as our conversation has indicated. It was a little bit. You're kind of like, okay, we didn't get the linebacker, and we continue to not get the linebacker. But at the same time,
And
we're
I thought you were
like,
talking about the age. We drafted old balls. Like all our dudes were like
We-
24, 25.
Yes,
we went with
we did.
we went with the closer to 30 group. Ron knows that he's got 3
went
more
with the
years
mature
left.
group.
Bro.
he needs a linebacker.
It's time. Well, I got a feeling
Took a lot
that
of team captains.
It's June cuts, right? I mean, it's got to be June cuts.
with 100%. Linebacker is a June cut position. So, yeah, we're
All
going
right.
to find our guy. Let the offseason unfold. I know. I wanted a linebacker too. But
It's weird that we didn't get one. I mean, which brings me to the pin that I put in about 5.5 minutes ago of Landon Collins. He has not re-signed with us, obviously. Or in fact, we let him go. And he hasn't re-signed with anyone else.
he's got to go to June 1st.
He's gone after June 1st.
So my whole thing with Landon was...
And we get 11 point something with it.
Yeah, but we can still re-sign him.
We could still re-sign him. And so I think it was a move out of respect to Landon Collins to announce what we were announcing. He might have a deal in place with someone
Respect
already.
for Carson Wentz.
Well,
Why don't you take some of this money over here?
But he knew that they were already telling him he was going to have to take a pay cut.
Right.
And he wants to play safety. And I think I'm totally speculating here. I don't know anything. My thought was, this is the kind of guy you say, we're going to do you right. If someone else wants to make you a safety the way you want to play and they want to pay you money to do it, go with God. But if not, maybe there's a spot back here for you. And I'm wondering if he is still a guy that might be in their plans on this defense.
100%. He was great last year in his little swing when he did come down and play linebacker. He started making those third down plays that made him the number one defender, getting his team off the field on third down, jumping up and giving the fist in the New York Giant blue. Didn't get to do it a ton for us, did it a little bit. He's great at that. Now, if he would have embraced that role, because last year he said, I don't want to play that shit. I got it.
Yeah.
But he was great at it.
He was.
And he's a tough-ass dude, man, and he knows that he ain't getting paid a boatload, and we don't have it. But, he had a cryptic
Everyone
IG
knows.
post today, and he's, he apparently there's interest. I think all of us, I'm speaking for us, we would embrace the shit out of that at the right price.
Yes, I would embrace it.
Look, if you said it right. If somebody else wants to pay him to cover,
Yep. Go with God.
Good luck.
Via con
good
Dios.
luck. Go have fun with that. Because
Keanu
I think
style.
his not coming in was that he couldn't cover. That has been purely established now that he is not a cover guy. So, yes,
That's right.
if it works out to where he knows he's not going to go somewhere and do what he wants to do,
No,
hopefully
Greg.
we could hope-
I
hopefully we'll
don't
put
think
him
he
here.
had words on the way out. I think he left amicably. I don't think there was any animosity at all. I don't think he has any problem with anything. And I also think that we said exactly. I think what he said, what we're saying, we said, which is, if someone wants to pay you money to do what you want to do, take it. But if not, we have a spot for you. And I also think that he likes the guys on our defense, because you know why a guy like him likes the guys on our defense? Because they love him. And the love that goes to him is meaningful from our guys. If a lot of people love you, you'll be like, all right, this is great.
yeah, I usually don't tell people who love me to fuck off.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
that I
they
don't
love
like
him, and he loves them right back.
Sometimes the people that love me the most tell me that. I don't be crying. I get sad though. It's probably my fault. That's what they always say.
That's what they always say.
Yeah, I mean,
What
if there was a little bit of it, it was a competitive. There's a ton of respect between his people and the Commanders.
What of the rest of the draft? And I don't want to give short shrift. I know the offensive lineman that we got late.
And we haven't talked about Cole Turner.
Cole is I think, in my opinion, going to be probably the biggest contributor in the short 2 or 3 year term for us.
If I ever mentioned his name, I thought that was awesome. He
Yeah.
specifically singled him out,
Yeah.
and no one else,
Yeah.
on one of those interviews, and I thought, wow. I mean, he's got a coach boner for Cole Turner, and
All right, so Kevin, you get one other guy that we drafted that you're not in love with, but in love with the idea of them playing well for us in the first 1 or 2 years.
another guy that we drafted.
Yeah, of the guys we haven't
Didn't we
talked
talk
about
about
yet.
everybody?
No,
Well,
we talked.
I mean,
We just talked
I
about
think we
Cole.
talked about everybody, but we just said Chris Paul. He's like the man of the year. I don't know. The 7 picks are tough.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go with. We talked about everybody. Do I
did.
go with Chris Paul because
we didn't talk about him.
because he's going to be on a State Farm commercial, and apparently he's like the man of the year. He's like going to be president. He's one of these amazing humans. And I will say this, Chris Paul, you get ready to get thrown into the guard pits of freaking Landover, because I think we have about 9 dudes signed, all for like anywhere near the minimum to $5 million that are about to just have to freaking go at it, and whoever's left. I mean, some of the dudes we signed to the undrafted free agents are guards. We've got guards coming out the butt. We just signed Trey Turner. We've got Andrew Norwell. We've got our 2 coming back from last year. One of them coming back from last year. We're guarded up And it's going to be that competition. And I think that's why we're doing it.
It's going to be a pig pen.
It is. It's going to be nasty.
Hog
So
pen.
good luck out there, Chris Paul.
T?
Bring your lunch pail.
You got it. I know you like the tight end.
I do like the tight end.
Yep.
I like tight end a lot. I think he's a good compliment to Logan Paul. Allows Bates to do more, stick to what he's better at,
Which is what hitting people.
Yeah, being the more physical, of the tight ends. I know that can tip you off, but I'm not saying Turner can't block at all. But we need another playmaker at that spot, especially with maybe Logan not being available right off the bat, or possibly having to go down again with his injury history.
Yeah.
But with the two of them in there, now that's a real problem for defense to defend. It's a real problem.
Can I just say this?
Yep.
I just wanted to throw this guy out there. I love reading about him today. I wrote it down. Another Cole from southeastern Louisiana, Cole Kelly, a quarterback we're bringing in here. Last year for southeastern Louisiana, he completed 73.55% of his passes for 60 touchdowns.
Wow.
He's 6'7", and he's a dual threat. This is my prediction for coolest quarterback to watch in the
6'7"
preseason.
dual threat.
Yes. I want to see this cat. I have not looked
Like
at him.
sneaky, like Daniel Jones.
I don't know.
Speed.
I'm just saying that apparently this was a guy. I mean, we drafted Howell. We're quarterbacked up. We can always get the guy off the street. We're bringing in a 6'7" monster. I want to see him in crunch time running a little RPO series and just mashing.
I think now would be a great time to revisit. We don't do this enough. We always do a show where we make picks.
Are these our picks from
But
last
then
week?
we don't come
Okay.
back and talk about it. And while I'm going through this, I would ask the board, now that you guys are all here and accounted for, if you wouldn't mind, start suggesting just a few topics for tonight for our 3-round draft, which we will have before the night is out. We have some really good ideas, by the way, that were put in.
Yeah, last week.
From last week, we had some really good ideas.
One that everyone was interested
Yes,
in.
yes.
Yourself.
So, but we're going to go. Okay, so,
Let's do it.
and I'm going to keep score. First quarterback chosen. T said Malik Willis. Kevin said Malik Willis. Ken said Pickett. That's a winner. That is a winner. First wide receiver chosen. T said Garrett. Kev said Drake. Ken said Garrett. Kevin is a winner. First running back chosen. Kevin T said Kenny 4. Kev said B-Rob. Ken said Brees. That's a winner. First offensive lineman chosen. T said Evan Neal. Kevin said Evan Neal. Ken said Icky. Icky was the first. Both will be great. First defensive lineman chosen ultimately was the difference in the who was going to be drafted first. T said Aiden. Kevin said Trayvon. Ken said Trayvon. That's 2 circles for Ken
I
and
haven't
Kevin.
won one yet.
Hang
First linebacker
in
chosen.
there, T.
Kobe for T. Lloyd and Lloyd for Kevin and Ken. Is that a winner?
Who was it?
First linebacker chosen. We're going to go straight linebacker.
LB.
It was
LB.
Quay Walker
Yeah.
for the Green Bay Packers. That is a no-win situation.
No Quay.
First quarterback chosen. Sauce. We all lost. This stunned
Stingley.
the crap out of me. When I was watching the draft, when Stingley went first overall, I was like, okay, I get it because Stingley's awesome, and everyone's been saying it, and everyone's been knowing it, and everyone's been understanding it forever, and everyone's like, sauce. Derek Stingley is getting paid, and I mean, God.
Hey, man.
First of all, he's awesome.
Yeah, those two I thought could have been interchanged. I thought Sauce was the dude. I mean,
Was
clearly.
it maybe that he played better competition throughout his career?
Or scheme, I mean, Sauce is 6'3". Yeah, I don't know. He guarded Jamar Chase every day at practice with Justin Jefferson if he had to take a break with Torres and Marshall and who else? There's somebody else. Oh, God. Well, you can't go wrong with either of those two. I
No,
don't
you
think. You're
can't.
pretty damn happy if that guy is suiting up for your squad for the next 4 or 5 years.
First safety chosen, Kyle Hamilton across the board. Kyle Hamilton was the right answer. The
There you
winner
go.
of
We all
this
got
year's
points, T.
First Amendment
plus one.
Sports 2022 NFL Draft Prop Bet was Ken Marangolo.
I'm not going to lie. First of all, congratulations,
Thank you.
Ken.
First of
well
all,
done.
thank you.
Well
Thank you.
done. You earned it. I am still in shock. Not shock. I truly believe the quarterback panic was going to happen. It was the opposite.
Yeah.
Today I'm watching Mel Kiper say that he's got the over on next year's first round at 6.5 quarterbacks taken.
That's good for us.
You're
That's
damn
really-
right. That's good for
really
us.
good for us.
That's really good for us.
Can I also tell you, over/under quarterbacks in the first round, 2.5. Kevin, over.
Oh yeah.
T,
I was
under.
all over. I told you.
Ken,
I was-
over. T, with the circle.
I was.
got two.
There you go.
Running backs, over/under 0.5. We all took the under. Tie. All right.
We all got points though.
Number 1 overall. Only T had Hutchinson. Both Kevin and Ken had Trayvon. 2 circles there. The over/under of wide receivers taken in the first round, 6.5. Let's count them up. All right. So we got Drake
it's
London,
6.
2,
6.
3, 4, 5 is Jahan Dotson. He was the 5th wide. Traylon Burks was the 6th wide receiver. Was there another one taken? No, there was not.
I heard that.
Kevin and T had the unders. They win. Ken does not. Kenny Pickett drafted by
Steelers.
Steelers to T. Winner. We both said we both said Carolina.
Yeah. Matt Rule, you turd.
And the winner of the Las Vegas draft prop bet section of our show, Tim Greaseman Strachan. The Greek. Timmy the Greek. We call him Timmy
I
the
had
Greek
some
around
value.
around the base.
Timmy the Greek. I don't know if we should keep that one.
Tom
You
Aarongola,
might
better
want
late
to trade
than
that
never.
one in for a more recent nickname.
Yeah.
Timmy the, but it rhymes. All right. Draft 3 holidays, each keeping in mind your 3 are the only 3 you get all year. Same with sporting events. Draft 3 games that you would most want to attend this season.
Say that again.
All right. Greg's idea is you have to draft 3 holidays that you're going to keep, and all the others go away. Or draft 3 games, sporting events, which is what I would choose. Draft 3 sporting events that you would most
All right,
want
put
to
it on
attend.
the list, and we'll go over it. Right, the
Yeah.
list that exists has some bangers on there too, and I get it. But the holidays, I'm getting drunk. I'm thinking 3 holidays, 3 sporting events, and now you lost me.
Groundhog Days is
I
like
get-
gaining a lot of prominence
Groundhog. See, that's what I'm saying.
because you
Although 4th of July is right around the corner.
and there's a lot of great sales on Veterans Day.
The
and that's
backyard brawl.
important.
I mean, is that a holiday yet?
Oh yeah, that's right around Flag Day. Sporting events.
Right around flag.
Bill Burr ruined Flag Day for me by the day.
How's that possible? How could you care enough about Flag Day to have it ruined?
Don't. Why would you even ask that question?
With a
I blame
haircut-
you. We're gonna be here for an hour late night, an hour later than we were supposed to be.
With the
run up
1950
the
style
pole on that
shave, and you look like you're like literally stepped off of black and white TV, sitcom or family show, and you're going to talk about why would you not like flags? I mean, you're a flag
I
guy.
look like a guy that's
You're
like
clearly
flags.
a flag guy. Yes,
Okay, I'm
you
gonna
do.
start growing my beard back tomorrow.
Oh, you better start. You
Okay.
grow your beard back because right now you look you were
Because
on
I don't want to
Mayberry,
look like a guy that likes flags.
the
I'm sorry.
mayor of Mayberry. Get off my lawn! Get off my lawn! Is what he
You
says.
flip someone a 2-bit pence and tell them to have a nice day right there. I love
All
it.
right, so I'm going to let Andrew B's question go. Kevin, as a legendary quarterback, what stands out to you about Sam Howell when you watch him?
Oh, the Division III legends. This guy's got that swag, man. That's all. We're lucky to have him. He's got a big arm, which I love. Big, accurate, deep ball. I love that he's tough enough to run between the tackles to go get a first down. You're not going to ask him to do it in the NFL, but when it breaks down, he can go make a play. And he gets to sit here for a year and figure some shit. This is the
What's weird is if he
the
came
first
out
time.
last year in this year's class, does that make any sense? Meaning he didn't play this past year. He had come out of the draft, but he was only eligible to be drafted this year in this class. He'd be number 1 taken, without a doubt. I think this past year really hurt him because he did not live up to the expectations. But I don't.
Was
think
that
it was
last
his
week's
fault.
show that we just had that conversation? Or was that? I think it was like a half an hour ago.
Turned me around in so many ways.
So if he was coming
so
out
confused.
in the
Not very
draft
smart.
with the same quarterbacks this year after his
Junior year.
yeah, after his junior year, he'd be
Okay.
the number 1 guy taken
Yes,
out of that class.
yes.
It might have been last
I
year.
think he
too,
got
but-
criticized wrongly this year and demoted in some respects because he had to do more than what was expected of him because he did not have as much around him.
Do you think he also got a little Mitch Trubisky on him? Just like a little Mitch Trubisky?
No.
Like dripped
He
on
had
him?
no Mitchell Trubisky
drip
dripped
on
on.
him?
How about this? He was never supposed to be the first football player taken in an NFL draft.
No.
All right? He was the overhyped offseason guy 2 years ago who's damn good. That's it. He's 6'1.5" tall. All right? He's got the big arm. He's got a little bit of Rex Grossman in the pocket, way more athletic than sexy. But he's got that big arm, and he's not afraid to let it fly. And you know what? De'Ami Brown will be the first one to tell these guys in the wide receiver room.
Yeah.
Like, his arm's no joke, and he throws a feathery deep ball. So don't stop running. And
Here is my Sam Howell goodness, warm and fuzzy. This is what I want to. This is what I've been thinking the hardest about. Of course, we'll have a quarterback controversy because we will. That's what we do. But it'll be fake and stupid. This will be the greatest situation for a rookie quarterback to come onto our team in a really long time. I'm talking more than 10 years, maybe more than 20 years, because we just paid a guy $27 million to be our starter this year. We don't expect a single guy to come in ahead of him. The guy who just started most of the entire season last year is coming back as the backup. If anything goes wrong with Carson Wentz, Taylor Heineke is the guy we're looking at, not Sam Howell. There's no better situation for a quarterback with a lot of ability and a lot of upside to come into than the one we are, because we're guaranteeing we're guaranteeing a 3 quarterback team. I mean, we have done 3 quarterbacks, but some guys go 2 these days. We're a 3 quarterback.
we've had
team
a lot
now.
of 2 games.
Yeah.
I think we've been more of a 2 quarterback team
Yeah.
over the last decade than 3.
He
Gruden
is
love to have 2.
He is
Yeah, we gotta keep
a
3.
guy
Yeah.
who we're developing. We've basically said we're going to develop a guy.
When was the last time we decided to develop a guy, which is what I love about the pick? Now, yes,
Love
he fell to us at 5th, which is shockingly and amazing. This guy actually says he wants to be here. I was hoping to go there, and it's the perfect situation for me. He's not the one griping that says, I could have had first-round guaranteed money. No, he's happy to be here. He's going to have a smile on his face every day coming to work because there ain't no pressure on him besides get better every day, young man. And this guy, apparently, from what you hear, he's a worker, and he's the first guy in, last guy out. Well, obviously, we've done our homework on him, and man, we are certainly lucky to have a guy we're going to develop and makes our options a lot more affordable a year or 2 from now, depending on what those options may be.
80s or 90s Saturday morning cartoons. Damn it, the 18-123.
That's just a really great one.
Off the cuff, too, because there's some things on this list that just jumped ahead of all of them. And I don't think we've picked one from the A-team, 1, 2, 3.
Bro, why do I feel like there's a closet that's about to be unlocked and I'm going to be attacked by a special teams G.I. Joe force? They're going to literally carry me out.
All right.
I feel like it's going to be ugly.
Okay, can I just make an executive decision? Would you guys trust me on this one?
No, but go ahead.
5 rounds, 80s, 90s cartoons.
5
5 rounds.
Let's
Dude,
just do
there's
it.
so many. There's
Let's
so
just
many.
do
All
it.
right.
Let's just freaking do it.
80s, 90s cartoons, period.
That's it.
Yeah.
Not
80s, 90s
Saturdays,
cartoons.
not
The A-team
just
wins. He
whatever.
wins. By the way, Greg, I've written down the holidays and the sporting events to attend. I want the sporting events to attend. That's going to happen in the subsequent
I like
shows.
that question a lot, too.
But when I just got hit by the 80s or 90s Saturday morning cartoons, because it's specific to Saturday morning. And then,
I like the sneakers. I like the holidays. I like the cartoons. We've got some business.
all right, let's go for the cartoons.
Yeah, I like it.
Here's what I'm going to say. The first 3 rounds have to be Saturday morning cartoons. The last 2 rounds could still be Saturday morning if you want, but you can stretch it out. You can go.
I mean, they all basically
You can
started on
caramello
Saturday.
this
You can
bad boy?
caramello it out to.
They all basically started Saturday mornings.
Yeah, but there's also some weekday ones that
Ken, you're
in
going
there.
first. I've determined that.
Okay.
Your exuberance, you have to. That means you get the
This is hard.
6th and 7th. First, 6th, and 7th is fair. T.
Are you keeping track?
What would you
Are
prefer?
are
I'll keep
mine?
track.
Okay.
I don't care.
I need to.
All right, you're
my-
second.
My draft room. For God's sake, this is not.
No, see, this is the best part because T and I are coming completely off the cuff. Ken's been hoping that someone has asked him this question for 36 years, and now it happened. Someone asked him the question he's been waiting on. This is a big.
It's a big one.
It's a big one for you. I know.
All right,
I'm
bam.
nervous for you.
I'm going gummy bears.
my
Saturday
memory-
morning,
my
gummy
memory's
bears,
so bad.
number 1 overall.
I mean, you're such a dick.
Are you serious?
I know the whole theme song, bouncing here and there. That was, dude, when that came on,
Dude, gummy
it
bears
was
is a
nights-
they're
it was
a legit
over.
first round pick.
Bro, what cartoons were you watching? I can't wait to hear your
Gummy
answer.
bears.
All right, yeah, you're erroneous, T-Bird. You're honestly, don't look into the camera until you start giving your answers because this is about to get nasty in here.
Dude, gummy bears is a legit first rounder.
I stand with. I would have taken him. I would have taken him first round.
Gummy bears, bam.
Let's not be afraid. Let's not be afraid here. I mean, I don't know how many meathead cartoons exist, but you're going to eventually deep into the realm of whoopsie. I shouldn't have made fun of Ken in the first round because I know in my brain what I got
Justice
coming.
League.
No, that's not a
Like you do, give a cartoon, man. Stop just giving
That's
like.
it, Justice
No,
League.
there's like 10 cartoons in the Justice League. You can't just say Justice League. That was not a cartoon. That was a movie by Zack Snyder 2 years ago. And it
Because
was
here's the
4
deal.
hours
What
long.
was
Here-
the
because-
superheroes Justice League?
See, you already made fun of somebody,
What
and your
was the
first
name?
round pick
That
is
was
not even an
Will's
answer.
fucking name.
You can't take everyone in the Justice League.
It's
That's
like
half
that-
of
that's
Saturday
like the Wu-Tang
morning.
Clan. You can't say
Right.
Wu-Tang Clan and just get every rapper.
Just pick
in
a
the-
cartoon from the. Just stop being so.
There was no Justice League. There was no Justice
You
League.
can't have the whole Justice League. That's like all the cartoons.
It wasn't different shows. It was one damn show.
I know what you're saying, but you can't take. There was no Justice
And a
League.
lot of them
cartoon.
had their spin-offs, so that means you get all of them. You know the rules here. If you take the Jackson 5, you get Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
so
and
what
Tito.
we're saying is
And Tito.
this is an individual cartoon,
As a
not
note
a.
to Trip O'Brien, I'll take He-Man first.
He-Man. Oh, that was never a Saturday morning cartoon.
It was absolutely a Saturday morning cartoon.
Was it?
Are you out of your mind?
It was a weekday.
was a
cartoon,
weekday
but that's
cartoon.
all
It
right.
became a weekday cartoon when it was syndicated.
I'm going to allow it. I'm
Afterwards.
going to allow
It
it.
started as a Saturday cartoon.
No, it started as a weekday cartoon.
It started as a weekday cartoon.
Started as a
Started
weekday.
Saturday cartoon.
All right, we
Hanna-Barbera, Saturday cartoon.
we will settle this, but we're going to allow it.
Have you ever seen T's T-Man suit, by the way? It's very similar.
so
just
amazing.
a tad bit off to avoid
I hate
controversy.
this shit.
I know. That's why I said not to make fun of Ken early.
All right, you got
I'm
two
going
picks.
Smurfs right away.
Yeah,
Gargamel and
that was
Azrael. That was
Really
my
hard
jam.
for me.
Smurfs.
By the way, the Caps went up 3-2.
there we go.
Light it up.
And the WWF All-Stars. Watching those guys in cartoon form.
You just
The
with a
Junkyard
huge-
Dog
huge-
was one of my
took it.
favorite
The
cartoon
JYD,
characters.
this is when they. I was like, they're cartoons now. The big bowl with a ladle of cereal, and no one else but me and Andre the Giant, the Hulkster.
the Hulkster.
First of all, the Junkyard Dog was my number one.
Roddy Piper was a
and Ricky the
douchebag.
he was, and Ricky the
was
Dragon
such a
Speedboat,
bad
and
guy.
Superfly Snuka, or a close
Great,
second,
great
third.
cartoon.
That was,
It
a great cartoon.
cartoon.
Great
Hold
cartoon.
on, Captain Lou Albano was the gang leader in that cartoon.
Oh,
he was
so
he had
great
the rubber
with the rubber
bands.
bands.
Yeah.
By the way, I watched that show more religiously than I watched actual wrestling. Just for the record.
This is 100%.
No, we know T is right. He just can't have the entire Justice League. Like that's like 40 characters.
I don't understand
3
that,
cartoons. We've done this for 7 years.
Wait,
you
no,
know the rules in these drafts.
But
You
you have
can't
to name
take
the
like.
show. There was never a show called Justice League.
I would like to take
I don't
Marvel
understand what you
comics.
mean. There was never a show called Justice League.
There was never a show called Justice League. There was
Then
a
what
movie
the fuck
called
did
Justice
I
League.
watch?
No.
Do you think
no,
that
no.
he's wrong?
I know the
'Cause
answer.
I
What was
don't
the
know
name
the
of the
answer.
show then, where they all stayed in the same damn house?
It's
I
your
know-
pick. You're on the
It's your
clock
pick. You're on
right
the
now. You're
clock.
filibustering.
Then that one.
You're on the clock. No.
With the Wonder Twins and all those motherfuckers.
No. Come on, man.
You can't just make fun of the first pick and then not give a pick and then say all those motherfuckers and then take your ball. Come on. There's
was a
cartoons
show.
everywhere.
I know what
not
it
a
is.
show?
You know what? I'm going to give T this one. This is the one I would have
I don't
picked.
care.
It's Super Friends. It was called Super Friends.
Super Friends. Okay, that's what I wanted. Super.
It had Superman,
I'm sorry.
Batman,
I didn't wanna
Apache
take
Chief,
all of the
the
Justice
Wonder
Yeah,
Twins,
you took them all. You took
Aquaman,
Batman,
Super
Wonder
Aquaman,
Woman.
You got them all.
Super
had them
Friends.
all.
Super
But you
Friends,
left
Super
you left me a
Friends.
good one, and I'm gonna take it because he wasn't on
Sorry, I
that
didn't
show.
say the actual name of it.
No,
Well,
but that's okay.
I'm gonna
That's the
say
spirit of it. You just took
Spidey-
97 cartoons with
Spidey
one.
and Friends. Spidey and Friends was
Spidey.
a totally legit Saturday morning cartoon. I loved it. Loved it.
You're back on the clock, Ken.
I know. Back on the clock. You know.
Now, all the cartoons that T stole have whittled me down to thinking about different. We should have gone 3 rounds.
Let's just go 3.
No. There's other cartoons. We're gonna extend it out to better and bigger cartoons. But Saturday morning cartoons. All right. So there was Super Friends was the name of the show. And it was a great Saturday morning cartoon. T's right. The best. One of the best. I'll give you that one. There was a cartoon on Saturday mornings. I never played Dungeons and Dragons growing up, but there was a cartoon called Dungeons and Dragons on Saturday morning where it was
remember it.
It was legit. It was like a saga. Every week that you came back and you were worried, like wondering, are they going to make it? I'm going with D&D Saturday morning cartoons. Now I'm out of the third. I'm going to spread my wings here in my next two picks. You get to go next.
I'm going to go and take my free pass.
It's my pick.
No.
Oh, no, it is. Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry, T.
So you went Spidey and who else?
D&D, Dungeons and Dragons.
D&D.
Which is odd because I never played the game before in my life, but that cartoon was legit.
D&D.
It was like dramatic.
Saturday morning. I'm gonna fuck this up.
Saturday morning. One more Saturday morning, and then you have to. Then we can move on past Saturday morning. There's one real big one.
You don't need to worry about Saturday morning. Just pick a cartoon.
That's true.
So
give a cartoon,
I believe it started on Saturday morning.
Okay.
But it went
national. It went prime time. What do you got?
Transformers.
All right, I'll give you Transformers. Kevin, you get two.
This is getting tough here.
Yeah, I know.
Man. But I'm gonna go with my weekday first here, just to get it off the rocks.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with what is it? Where is it? Thundercats.
Oh, all right. You got me.
Snarf, snarf, Uncle Snarfer. That was my jam.
God, that
was my
great.
jam. And before it gets back to you, I'm gonna steal G.I. Joe, Ken, because that was the deal.
God,
Sorry.
you took 2 weekday ones.
I'm sorry, man. I know. I got one left. I got one Saturday morning left to finish up on. Right?
All right, fair enough. T,
3 Saturday mornings.
T, you got one? You got one pulled up from your Google machine? I'm going.
I have to Google machine now.
so-
Sorry, I was texting earlier, but it's just memes. But
If we're off of-
I don't think
if
that's
we're off
true.
of-
I was just seeing what year it was, and I
If
think
we're
T's-
off
I
of the
think
Saturday
T's-
morning, although I think it started again on Saturday with Looney Tunes.
Yeah, we're off. You can take Looney Tunes. You get them all. You get everyone on Looney Tunes.
I can say Bugs Bunny then.
That's
In the Bugs Bunny.
we
the
said
Bugs Bunny.
80s and 90s, and Looney Tunes is totally before that. But that's
Is
all
it
right.
really?
That's okay. We did say 80s and 90s, but
We did
you say
80s and
Looney
90s.
Tunes. I'm going to give you Looney Tunes because Bugs Bunny has been being made. Bugs Bunny was being made in the 80s and 90s.
By the way, I just wanted to know this. That
It was
does not
being
include
made in the 80s.
Yosemite Sam, because I'm not going to take him, but I just want to make sure no one takes him in a group effort.
So then,
He's my
now that
favorite.
I'm out of Saturday mornings, considering they're still making them today, and they've been making them
Greg
since the
Martin says, Looney Tunes
1930s.
from like the-
If you didn't watch Looney Tunes in the 80s and 90s, what did you watch?
Well, Tiny Toons.
T's going to go home to catch up on that new episode of Dukes of Hazzard tonight. So we got to get out of here quickly. Let's wrap it up.
Animaniacs would have been
Worst cartoon ever.
Are you
Animaniacs?
kidding me?
Worst ever. I
We
hated
are
it.
Animaniacs.
I'm diving Animaniacs.
Zany
Put me
to
down.
the
I have a
max.
personal
Animaniacs
experience.
was awesome,
I have a
dude.
personal experience with it that I don't like it. So,
We're zany to the max. We got baloney in our slacks. We're Animaniacs.
yeah, I hated it.
Here's
I
peeking in their
never-
brain.
I
They
don't
want to
really
rule the
remember the
universe.
baloney in the-
Good feathers
in
flock
the
together.
sax one,
Slappy slaps them with her purse. Good feathers flock together.
All right,
what do you got?
I'm looking
I'm
up
going
years here.
Animaniacs.
You got another one.
No. Oh, I'm going
I
fifth
got-
round.
Yeah.
Bam. All
true.
right, fine.
Are we in the fifth?
Yeah, we're in
Yeah.
the fifth round. Damn it.
Coming back this way?
Oh, Animaniacs is such a great one. Yeah, Pinky in the Brain, Robert Cohen. You're GD right. I mean, I'm a,
1930 Looney Tunes. It looked like an 8. When you were Googling it, it looked like an 8.
But when we did music, as long as they still made them in the 80s and 90s, which they did, they made them in the 80s and 90s.
correct. That is correct.
So
but
if we
Greg
wanna be
Martin,
sticklers about
but the
the
board
rules,
is also
F you F you.
It's
F
not
you.
stickler.
You can't F you a board.
F you and F you.
You're F-Uing a board on cartoon calls.
Yes, I am.
'Cause-
I hate this shit.
All right.
I hate it.
Pop culture is the funnest thing to talk about with everyone on Earth, except for the dude that was born like 150 years ago. He's Captain America.
Because I can't now. I wanted to go Tom and Jerry so bad,
I'm
but
sorry. I
they were
don't
also
have
from the
The
30s.
fucking Care Bears and Animaniacs on my list.
No one knows the Care Bears. What a great cartoon.
What did
Care
you
Bears
say?
were
You said-
amazing.
Strawberry Shortcake and Care Bears. It's come
Gummy
down to-
bears, dude. The gummy bears, not the same as Care Bears.
My
Care
Gummy
Bears,
and my
by the
Care
way,
Bears.
awesome.
Way too much color for me.
Care Bears
didn't
were
watch
awesome.
either.
All right, you have one pick left. Is it a Saturday or a regular? T, who the fuck knows? Let's try and get one in the last, I don't know,
Oh, you're gonna love my last one.
quarter.
You're gonna love my last one.
I'm gonna go
Everybody's
with.
gonna
Give
love
me.
my last
You know
one.
what?
It's actually my favorite cartoon.
This
of
is
all
the
time.
guy. These guys might not make the final roster, but I'm gonna bring him into training camp. Mask. M-A-S-K.
Is this a Rocky
Jim
Dennis
Carrey?
cartoon?
Oh no!
Like
These
Jim
guys-
Carrey, the mask.
These guys got after it.
That's horrible.
I know the board knows all about Mask.
I
M-A-S-K.
remember Mask.
I actually answered this question
All right, T.
on the Doc Walker show, so it has been documented in
Care Bears.
TV
We're on
history.
Greg Martin's list, by the way.
Woody
Come on,
Woodpecker.
18.
Woody
I
Woodpecker.
guess Ken's
You're
done.
up. I'm done. I'm done.
Woody Woodpecker's my favorite
Oh,
cartoon of all
Mask!
time.
We got a Mask lover. Okay, go ahead. T.
Woody
you-
He
Woodpecker.
took Woody Woodpecker, but don't you already have?
Dude, seriously. They're barely later.
He's
than-
like, I can do this all day. Captain America.
all right, board. Tell me, give me when Woody Woodpecker. I'm gonna, Kevin. Over
It's the
under.
best cartoon ever.
Over under on when Woody Woodpeckers first started. I'm gonna say 1947.
37.
37. I'm saying. I'm giving it a 4 handle. But go ahead.
Oh, gosh. I'm having a hard time here. I'm going to get off Strawberry Shortcake and Care Bears because I want T to have them for overtime. It comes down to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who I don't remember being on Saturday morning, so
No,
I'm going
no.
to go ahead
No,
and
they
say,
weren't. They weren't.
and I have a Saturday morning left. I'm going with the Snorks.
Yes. Dude, the
I watched
Snorks-
it every week religiously.
The
Pretty good.
Snorks.
I don't know why it was so
We're
good.
in for
It
the
was
Snorks.
very
Bears for
weird.
me, but
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Snorks were
Bubble-
okay.
there's bubbles and yeah.
Snorks.
They had good music.
T, they had great music.
They were
And
like the
you're a-
minions of the 1980s.
Oh,
They're-
Kevin, by the way, first of all, they're making your final roster. They're going to come into training camp and win a job.
Bro, I got the WWF, the Thundercats, G.I. Joe, the Snorks, and the Smurfs. I'm feeling pretty strong about my huge bowl of cereal on my ladle right now. By the way, it was Smurfberry Crunch. It was all blue and red, and the milk was special. And I know
It was good.
cereal should be a sweet follow-up to this question at some point in time.
We got 1 minute to go in this game. Caps are up 3-2. Empty net on the Florida side. Florida Panthers pressing.
Is that
Oh, we got an empty netter!
Gordy
go
Howe
up
just scored on Woody
1-0 in
Woodpecker?
the series.
It's over.
By the way, Muppet Babies.
There's no helmets. There's
Muppet
no
Babies
ice.
was the one I missed. I should have gone Muppet Babies instead of D&D.
Well, hold on, there's a million to
Muppet
go.
Babies is a great
how about
freaking
DuckTales?
cartoon.
No one freaking says
That was
DuckTales.
that was great.
Uncle
It was
Scrooge,
okay.
Huey,
DuckTales
Louie, and
was
Dewey.
all right.
DuckTales was one of the greatest. Who was the guy that? Who's the pilot?
Rainbow, by the way, the cartoon. Rainbow, the cartoon was a
right.
great weekday.
Launchpad McQuack. Come on, man. I'm
great
sorry.
job.
Where does
Brett
Go-Go
Donnelly
Gadget?
in
Where
the
does Go-Go
house.
Gadget land in your cartoon repertoire?
All right. If anything we
They want to know
said,
if Gumby and his Pony Pal Pokey too.
Oh my
are
God,
all
that's a
right.
great
I
cartoon.
know. The captain
That's a
loves
great
it.
cartoon.
if
Captain loves it.
anything we
Shit, I love
said,
Chili Willy. I love
Tailspin.
Captain
Tailspin.
Caveman.
It
Yeah.
was Tailspin.
Tailspin was also part of the McDuck.
Right, but it was
That was
Launchpad
Chili
or
Willy.
Tailspin?
That was
You guys-
Horsepat.
Chili Willy was that 70s too?
Bro,
70s.
oh my God.
It was old by the 70s.
Flintstones.
Yeah, there you go. Flintstones. Would have been a great call for your fourth or fifth round. But Inspector Gadget, also a great one. Inspector Gadget would have
is
been
a
a
great
great
one.
call, obviously. Anything we said you liked, please throw us a thumbs up. It takes one click. That's all it takes. Just a click. As long as we don't get your dislike, we're also very happy.
By the way, T used to eat cream of wheat because he watched cartoons before cereal.
I love cream of wheat.
Oh, God.
I love cream of
If
wheat.
there's anything I've ever hated, I love all food.
I
There's
I
nothing
watched
I don't
all
like.
of these cartoons while
Cream
eating
of
Golden
Wheat.
Grams.
I do.
Golden Grams are good, but
Oh, Tom Maringola with the Jetsons call also would have been a great Tim Strachan
I was going to say
selection.
this Saturday is
Tom
supposed to,
Marangolo, you and I can go watch.
it's supposed to be a rainy Saturday, guys. It's supposed to be in the high 40s and rainy around
Tom
here.
Marangolo and I would have a
I
lot
will
of fun
buy-
watching cartoons together.
I agree.
The Ghostbusters cartoon was also
It
great.
was great. That was on my, but I didn't want to just. But that was
I
a
know.
great cartoon. They did a great job with Slimer, man.
Tim Strachan and Tom Maringola will be watching 1940s cartoons all weekend long. Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock
also great.
wasn't, but it wasn't a cartoon. I down to Fraggle Rock. Anyone who had HBO back in the day got a dose of Fraggle
Yep.
Rock, and I was worried about the cartoon portion versus the real
By
life.
the way, Voltron was my next pick. If
Me
I had
too.
it.
I went Thundercats over
Voltron was
Voltron.
Yeah, yeah.
great.
That was my choice there.
All right, everybody. It's been an awesome Tuesday night. We very, very much appreciate you guys hanging out with us. And we are going to be mindful of your time. We've only kept you here for about a little over an hour. The Washington football team, better
That was
known as
fun.
the Commanders, also known as the Skins, basically our favorite football team, whatever you want to call them. We just want them to win. We will be back in 1 week to talk about them and this Washington Caps Florida Panthers series, which now the Caps lead 1-0. 8 versus 1. No big deal. NBD, as we like to say in the basement.
No,
Until next Tuesday night, East Tim Strachan.
I can't believe I didn't even mention Mighty Mouse either.
Yo, no, you didn't.
It's freaking
Or
awesome cartoon.
or Speedy Gonzalez. Just throw them all out there. Just
Legion of Doom. Just take the whole Marvel.
Okay,
you get
guys,
Marvel
I'm
next
apparently
time.
going to go get my time machine and go back home in the
Yeah.
1970s. I'll be back next week.
There's a DeLorean parked out front waiting for you to get into it at the end of the show. Kevin Ricca.
That horse and buggy is out there at the little ornery. We got to get done here. That was fun as hell doing those cartoons, man. Yo, you all have a great week. Let's think of some fun crap. All right, we got to get to cereal someday. But there's been some awesome suggestions.
Oh, the cereal.
It makes it a lot of fun at the end of the night for a bunch of old fogies like
Let's
us.
come prepared next week
Apparently
with a
some of
cereal
us are older
draft
than others.
and a board draft. Cereal first, board second. We're gonna work.
Everybody bring your cereal.
Everybody
game.
bring your cereal game next week. We're going cereal next week. Can everyone just be a little bit serial about this? I'm being serial right now. I'm being serial. We're doing cereal. I'm Ken Maringola. This was Thank God It's Tuesday. We are still live.
I'm going to start coming with my own
Thanks,
book.
Andrew B. My man.
My own notebook.